Welcome, everybody. Come on in. Joyce is here. I'm glad you asked for the link. It's good to have you. Well, wait, Joyce, I can't hear you because you're muted. But please jump on and tell me what you were saying.
I
No,
said I had the wrong time.
you're
Couldn't find the link, and it just was not a good morning.
It happens. We all have mornings like that sometimes. It happens. But that's why I'm here, right? That's why you email me and go, Caroline, I am having that morning. Let me know what I do. What do I do?
Thank
And
you.
yeah, it's okay. You're not the only one. It's been a very busy week, I feel like. It lasts 2 weeks for everybody. It's just it's that new fall energy, end of summer, new fall energy, I think. And everybody's got a lot happening, a lot of events. I know Amy was 2 weeks ago, you were with your mom doing stuff the same day Amanda was, that's why you guys were not on
Yeah.
the main webinar. You were out doing family things, a lot
Seems
of
like it all happens at
reunions.
once. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. It's all coming at one time. So yeah. Okay, wonderful. Welcome everybody. We're just going to give it like one more minute and then I'm going to start the presentation. Um, if you are new, feel free to jump on and introduce yourself while we're waiting. I'd love to hear it. I know we have a few new people. We actually have, I was just telling Amy, we have 17 new students in the last few days. So we have a lot of new faces, which is really exciting. And hopefully more people are going to show up to this webinar, and we are going to record it, of course, so that everybody can listen back. We normally don't do that, but I feel like with so many new people hanging out with us, we need to do that. Um, let's see here, and we do also love it. It's not an obligation, but we do love it when you turn on your camera so we can see you. And if you want to hover over the box in Zoom, over your own box, there's a little blue dot menu that pops up, and that you can rename yourself. If so, if you have some other name, sometimes we have people who borrow somebody else's Zoom account. Sometimes it just goes by device name or whatever it is, and we love to see who everybody is. So feel free to do that while we're waiting. Do we have anybody who wants to say hi and introduce themselves at all?
I will.
Yay! Okay, we have a volunteer. I love it, Denise. Welcome.
Thank you. Well, I was just very excited to stumble across your program. And after I watched one of your introductory videos, the thing that really caught my eye was your um, schematic of how this all fits together. Because I've been at this now trying to get a massive collection of
Yeah.
physical photos, documents, memorabilia, you name it. And since I retired in 2016, I've been working at it. I finally feel like I have a whole bunch of pieces, all the pieces, but I can't figure out anymore what to do next.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think that, you've got the key for me. I've been doing a lot of learning, but this is like going to help me put it
Yeah.
all together.
Yeah, I'm
So,
I'm I'm glad to hear that. And yeah, that's exactly what we do because you're right. It is such a big project. And then, the whole point of having the print and the digital and the scanning, it's such a big project, and just what order do you do things in and when do you do that and all that. And so we hear that a lot. And I mean, Amy and Amanda will agree with me. Like that's everybody basically that comes into the course. It's the same thing. It's so
yeah,
normal. So glad you're here. We can certainly talk that out and give you a step by step so you're not doing redundant work. That's great. And then we can finally get the project done. I love that. Great. Well, welcome. I'm glad you're here. And thank you for jumping on and introducing yourself. I would love to hear from anybody else. Joyce, maybe do you want to I know you've been in our orbit for a little bit, but you've kind of coming back in.
Sure.
Yeah.
I was all gung ho, and then I had like 4 months of ungung ho,
Yeah. It
and I
happens.
had life things happen, and I'm away right now in Vero Beach. I'm from Maryland, so I'm in Florida, and this is great. I'm by myself, and I get to just be quiet and take care of what I want to do. So
Yeah.
Yeah, so when I
Good
found,
timing.
I thought, okay, I can do this.
Good timing.
So I'm back on board.
Back on board. Yeah, and that's great. And that's, why we have these calls. We were just talking, we did a survey last year of our students, and I'll tell you that more about that in a minute, but we found that, so many people, because it's a big project, it takes a moment to get it done. And sometimes life happens and you need to pause and then come back in and pause and come back in. And it's not an overnight thing, right? And then you don't want to forget where you left off, and you want to make sure that, when we have updates on our end, like we just migrated, the URL, for example, for the academy last year. So if you were a returning student and maybe didn't opt into emails, you might have missed the whole thing, and then you can't find the academy. So we felt like we need to have all of these, calls to make sure everybody knows regularly, and you can come in at any time, and because it's lifetime access to the course and all that, you can start and stop and not feel guilty about it. So glad to have
I
you
just
back.
was, yeah, one more thing. So the last time, I think 4 months ago, I said, yes, I'm working on my DPO flow, and then nothing.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, look at you. Oh my gosh. Okay. So
So
fantastic.
I am working on it. So like Denise, it's crazy. I don't know what to do next, but at least I put pencil to paper and
That's it.
I'm figuring it out.
That's it. Yeah, and that is the first step. So if anybody's new again, don't know what to do, absolutely just download that, or just grab a blank piece of paper and draw out the DPO flow. It's a great start. And then you send it to me. Oops, here we go. And then you send it to me, and I will give you feedback on that, and then we'll take it from there. So really, really good job. Way to jump in. And thank you for introducing yourself, or reintroducing yourself, I should say. Anybody else who want to say hi real quick? I'm not going to put you on the spot, but it is really fun to hear from everybody what they're working on. Yes, please go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah, this is Praveen, and I am your old student, and life
It's good
happened.
to see you, Praveen. I was hoping you'd be on the
Yeah,
call.
yeah, yeah. You know what happened exactly? I want to tell anybody who is taking this course, please follow your instruction to the T, because I did not follow. I thought, oh, I'll take a shortcut. I'm smart. I will do this. And I've completely screwed up, and I'm trying again from the beginning. I just want to tell you that. But thank you.
It's yeah, that it's again, it happens. It happens. So don't
Right,
feel bad about it. But
right.
yeah, the reason the course is in a certain order is because of, the that's kind of the recipe that we have. But different people with different tech skills, different levels of expertise with programs and all of that. You can jump around, of course, but there's a really good process in place, so you don't have to
Yeah,
figure that
yeah.
out on your own. Yeah. And it's good to
Yeah,
see you back. It's been a
yeah.
minute.
Good news is that I made the two photo book and they came out very good. The bad news is that I screwed up completely my whole system, that I have
Okay.
to
Okay.
uh, redate them. Yes. Thank
Okay.
you.
No worries. So then you start again with the DPO flow, and we'll
Yeah,
start working on that. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah. That's okay. I'm glad you're here. That's the first step.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Anybody else? Kay, Bhavna, Tammy, Mark, Cindy? Anybody want to say hello real quick?
Sure, I'll go. Hi,
Yeah.
everyone. I'm Bhavna. Nice to see you all. I'm fairly new to the DPO. I loved the course, watched it multiple times, and was able, with Caroline's guidance, to kind of figure out a project I was working on. So, really, it was eye-opening and such a great learning experience. I love the course,
I'm
and you're
glad.
right, going in that order has really helped me. And yeah, I'm looking forward to learning more and hearing from
Yay.
others today. Thank you.
Good to be here. And you're pro, so we have a new, colleague as well, which is really fun. It's always fun when we have the pros coming in. And I think we have more pros in the room, right? Anybody else wants to say hi? I'm just gonna give it another 2 minutes or 3 minutes or so real quick.
I'll say
I'll
hi.
say
I'm
hi.
just an observer, and
Kay and then Cindy, and then yeah, go ahead. You're an observer?
I'm an observer, and you're on my bucket list. I can't fit it in now, but I know it'll be there, and you'll be there too. So maybe next summer.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. Good to
Good.
see you. Good to see you, Kay. And congrats on the prize. You won a prize in the. And I think Cindy, didn't you win a prize as well? Yeah, you did,
I
right?
did. I got photos takeout and
That's
I
right.
checked it out over the weekend and was happily surprised that it actually worked on my Apple Photos library. So very excited about it. But yeah, I'm Cindy. I'm a new pro member, so very excited to be here. I've kind of been dancing around this whole issue of my own photos wrangled, and then of course learning to kind of pass that on to future clients. So very excited to be taking this
Very
course.
cool. Yay. So glad you're here. Good to
Thanks.
to have you join us. Yeah. Okay. Tammy or Mark, do you want to say hi real quick or should we move on? No worries if you don't. I will share my screen in the meantime and we'll get started and I should probably share sound as well. Um, Okay, road construction, no worries. Good to see. Yeah, and again, it's none of this is I just want to make sure everybody feels seen and heard and understood. We're all good. But let me share my presentation then. And I'm not going to share again full screen because then I lose control of all my Zoom controls here and then that makes me a little annoyed. So, oops. Why am I? Wait a minute. Hang on. Let me do this all over again. That did not work the way I wanted it to. There we go. Okay. Um, so the reason we well, I should start by saying welcome. New returning and prospective students. This is our welcome and onboarding call for Q3. Um, the reason we do these calls is, again, just to give you a brief overview. We did a survey last year and we realized that we have three types of people in our courses, and this is throughout our academy because many of you here have joined DPO Pro. We do have other courses as well that I'm just going to share with you really quickly later on. But throughout our sort of survey last year and our sort of student questionnaire, we realized we have three types of people. We have eager beavers who are like super excited to jump in, but then they get really overwhelmed with where to start. And then they do get results fast, but the learning doesn't always stick because they went through it so fast. And then they're like, whoa, it was kind of a whirlwind. And then what we do is we recommend you come in back in and watching things over and over again, even though you finished a project really quickly, just to kind of let everything sink in and have enough time to process it. Then we have the time tamers. They are people who like to learn little by little, and they sometimes, because of that, tend to forget where they left off because it takes a moment and they will stop and come in and stop and come in. And what happens is sometimes people feel a little guilty, like either other people are ahead of them or like, oh, I signed up and I didn't do anything and I life happened and this and that. And we've heard stories either way, right? So if you're feeling a little behind, we didn't want that to be a thing because nobody really is behind. We have people coming into this course all the time. We have people coming into all of our courses all the time. And you start when you start. There is no competition with anybody else. You are not behind in any way. The courses that I provide are meant for you to take at any time throughout your life. We just want to make sure that you actually get the enough support that you need to finish it and actually get the most out of the experience and not just sort of feel guilty that, um, you didn't do it all like within the first 2 months, right? We don't want that. It's not a thing. And then we have potential prospects who have been following us for a long time, usually months or years, but they aren't sure if they're going to either keep up or if it's right for them or something, and they are hesitant to sort of quote unquote bother us with questions. Because if they're not going to jump in, they don't want to like take up our time. And so that's the reason we put together these calls is because we wanted to cater to everybody. So whether you are a new student, a returning student, a prospective student, these onboarding calls are here quarterly so that if you need just a reintroduction into the community, if you need a little bit of motivation, if you just have a question about sort of the process of learning and what we offer or how you can get better support, anything like that, these calls are meant for that. You can always ask in the community as well. And of course, you can always ask on calls, but the coaching calls are meant really to be more about the photo organizing or the project management or whatever the topic of the course is, right? And not necessarily these sort of admin and learning as an adult kind of issues. But we do felt the need to have this just so everybody feels like they're getting support. So that's what that is. And again, if you have somebody that you feel might benefit from these calls, feel free to invite them, even if they're trying to learn just more about what we offer or anything like that. It's everybody's welcome. So today we're gonna meet the coaches. We're gonna talk about all the things that we offer in terms of courses and support, how to make sure you get our emails. We're gonna talk about the academy and how that works, about our community and how that works, and then roadmaps and learning as an adult and things like that. And then at the end, we'll have an open Q&A. And normally, like I said, I don't really record these, but we had so many new students in the last few days, I felt the need to do that. So we're going to have a replay as well if anybody wants to see it again. So let's just start with the team members. So all of you know me by now. I'm Caroline, certified photo organizer. I've been a photo organizer, I want to say, since about 2013 officially. I was a photographer back in the day, early 2000s. So I worked on photo collections long before that. But I didn't sort of go into photo management or being a professional organizer or productivity coach in general until like 2013 or so. I did it for a few years, sort of more as a hobby, and then I kind of finally um, bit the bullet and sort of started calling myself that officially back then. I'm a 10-year Golden Circle member of NAPO, and that's the National Association of Organizing and Productivity Professionals. And I'm an advisory board member and masterclass coach for the photo managers. So if anybody knows me from there, you may have seen me around. I teach digital organizing. I teach systems and operations and business development, personal knowledge management, productivity, project management, a lot of the things that basically help people get things done in terms of content and projects. And I really love that. And I was born and raised in Sweden. That's why I'm known as the Swedish organizer. I'm now a dual citizen of the US and Sweden. But yeah, that's me in a nutshell. Amy, do you want to jump in real quick and just say hi so they
Yeah.
can see you? Yeah,
Hello.
wave.
Hello. Did you want me to say something about myself?
Yeah, just go with the
Yeah.
slide and give us a minute. It's much more
Go with
interesting
the
for
slide.
you to introduce yourself than me doing it.
Okay, no problem. Hi, everyone. I'm Amy. I've been working with Caroline. Wow, I think it's been what, 6 years, 7 years? I don't know, something like that. I've done a variety of things in my life, but most recently I have become a professional digital organizer and personal knowledge manager. And I moved to Europe from the United States in 2022. So I started off, well, it was supposed to be Sweden, then Portugal, and now I'm living here in the Netherlands. And then also, as it says on the slide, my husband and I are both musicians as well. So when I'm not running around with a computer organizing people's files, I'm running around with my bass guitar and singing on stage. So that's about me in a nutshell, I suppose.
Yeah. Thanks. Perfect. And then I'm going to give it to Amanda as well. Amanda, I know I'm putting you on the spot, but I talk too much
That's fine.
anyway, so go ahead.
Hi everyone, I'm Amanda. I've been with actually I've known Caroline, I guess, since 2013. We
Yeah.
first met in one of the first photo managers conferences, and I've been a photo manager since, kind of as a part-time business, and I'm finally full-time. And Caroline is a dear colleague, friend, mentor, and collaborator, and I just highly recommend anything she touches. You guys should just all follow because there's
Thanks.
so much learning, and
Sweet.
yes, it's incredible on all levels to experience anything she has to teach and pass on to us. So welcome everybody. This is a really rich community, and we're so happy you're here.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, I'm super glad to have really such amazing colleagues. I mean, uh, for anybody who's a pro, find your people. That's what I can say. Because you're gonna need support, like I I ran my business for years on my own. It's so much better to have team members, even if it's not, uh, full time or whatever it is, like just to have people that you can bounce ideas off and all that is really helpful. So thank you ladies for being here. And we do have two people as well on the team who are not here, so I'll talk for them. So Dragana, first of all, had a baby not too long ago, a little beautiful baby boy. And she normally does live event support for us, but obviously she needs a bit of time with her kids. So she's an amazing person, and she is actually a stage actress. And the reason I really wanted her on the team because she does a lot of improv and on the spot stuff. And I was like, well, there's nothing I can throw at her that's gonna have her panic because she's used to basically, you know, come up with ideas on the spot and all that all the time. So, on my bucket list is to go see her at the Wonderland Theater, actually, in Skopje. Hopefully, at some point, we can all go see her do her thing. And she's an amazing actress, well known over there. So, yeah, we loved Regana, and hopefully, you'll see her back with us real soon. And then we also have Sherry, who you might see on certain calls or in our archive. She's an executive coach, a dear friend of mine, and a global EFT practitioner. Basically, what she helps people do is just develop confidence, and develop relationships and help people overcome limiting beliefs. So in some classes, we do have a need for that, especially those who have more professional goals. And she's also Canadian, so we've got a lot of Canadians, which I love Canada. Okay, so that's the team, and those are the faces that you will be seeing if you join one of our courses. So we have two websites, and sometimes that's confusing. My main website is the swedishorganizer.com. So, for anything general, you can always find me there. But a lot of people come in through my photo organizing blog as well, which is at organizingphotos.net. And the reason I separated those was because, I mean, really just there's so much. People think photo organizing is a small sort of niche. There is so much detail in that. And so I do have a blog specifically for that. And a lot of other project management and productivity blog stuff is on the main website and all that. So I do have two websites just so that it doesn't get confusing. So let me just give you a quick, brief overview of our courses and what we offer. Because a lot of people think, oh, you only do this or that. No, we actually have a full suite of courses. So just so that you know, if you see them in the community or my website or on the academy, here's what we have. First is one called the Organizing Formula. That's actually my original course. I put that out in 2014, I believe, and it's been updated since, of course. And that's a free course. It's available on YouTube and it's available in the Academy. So all of you have access to that at no extra charge. And if you just jump into DPO Pro recently, for example, you'll see that it's one of the prerequisites that I recommend that you watch. Yes, it was geared more towards sort of residential organizing and systems and operations, but I think it's a really good primer to understand how organizing works in general and why it works that way. So if you don't have any experience with professional organizing, or if you're just interested in learning more about how systems work in general and how to think in systems, that is a really good primer to watch. And again, it's free to all of you. You can use it in the Academy. And you just enroll there. You should all probably at this point be auto-enrolled, but just in case you haven't been, then it's in there. And for anybody else who might be interested, you feel free to refer them to YouTube. It's free on YouTube as well. And just go to my channel and you'll see it pop up. We do have, in 2025, we started an upgraded experience because we found that a lot of people had questions about the organizing formula and sort of the residential organizing process. So we do have an upgraded version for 19 a month where you can get support with residential organizing projects. And that's, again, available in the community. So ladies, if you can drop, I'm sure you're ahead of me, but if you can drop the link to the organizing formula so people can kind of see what that's about in the chat, that's really cool. And of course, under the replay, I'll have all the links as well. And then we have DPO Pro. Many of you are in DPO Pro. That is for photo organizing and how do you get your memories in shape, basically. Because, digital content, there's a lot of it, but what really matters a lot is our photos and our videos and our memories. So we want to make sure that we get those in order and make sure that, everything is safe and backed up. And of course, I have a lot of experience for that. It's one of my specialties. So that is DPO Pro. Then we have the Bookend Approach, and that is for entrepreneurs. Anybody can take it. Anybody's welcome to take it. It is a mini course, but it's specifically made for entrepreneurs who are trying to get a business off the ground. And we know we have a lot of business owners who kind of come in and they're like having trouble with consistent productivity and project management and making sales and things like that. And this basically is a daily productivity system that you can use in order to forward your business much, much quicker and make it full-time in a faster way. We also have for anybody quarterly planning. It's specifically, again, meant for entrepreneurs, but anybody's welcome. That is where we have a process where you sit down and plan quarterly goals with us and basically make a plan for how to best move forward. And that's actually one of my favorite things to teach. The ladies know, like, it's the same process, but every time we get different results from people and different stories from people. And it's just a really cool thing if you are, especially a business owner. It's a good use of your time. If you're not doing quarterly planning in your business, you are likely missing some goalposts, and we want to make sure that nothing slips through the cracks. Creative systems architect, also for business owners, CEOs, leaders, entrepreneurs, to set up systems and operations in their business. So it's kind of like DPO Pro, but for the entrepreneurial universe instead of just your personal photo memory universe. Mindful Monday Mapping, a much higher level program for leaders and entrepreneurs. That is where time management, productivity, and project management comes into play. That's where I teach all of that. And that's also where you'll get to know Sherry, for example, when you're trying to become more of a leader and a CEO and actually go out and be the face of your business. And what's really good about Mindful Monday Mapping is that that's our top level program. So it's kind of an umbrella flagship program, which means that when you actually join Mindful Monday Mapping, you get the Bookend Approach, you get quarterly planning, you get Creative Systems Architect all included underneath it because those are prerequisites. So that is a really cool program as well. We haven't done as much promotion for those courses, but we will in the future because they're actually really solid, really good. And then I will just mention really quickly as well, a couple of years ago, I put in place a program called Searching Sweden. Many of you might know that I used to be a genealogist as well. And I specialized in Swedish and Scandinavian genealogy because that's where I'm from. And I put out a course called Searching Sweden, Finding Your Swedish Ancestors in Online Archives. It is not a course that I promote anymore, but it is still available. So if you know anybody in need of Scandinavian or Swedish genealogy, that's actually one of the best courses I've ever written. We had a lot of really good results with people in that course, like life-changing results. And it's still there. It's still in the archive. It's still available for purchase. I just don't talk about it much because we had to focus on some of the other things. But I wanted to let you know that it's still there for anybody who's interested. Every now and then we do workshops and special events, right? And if you go in the academy and look under all courses, you will see all of those workshops and all of that. And those of you who just joined DPO Pro during our summer promo that ended yesterday automatically got access to a lot of our workshop archive. Not 100% of it because we did have a few, maybe two or three, I think, workshops that were not included, but pretty much all of them were included in that archive. So a lot of you will have access to that. The full list is at theswedishorganizer.com/workshops if you want to see the full list. Yeah, if you look in your account, I bet many of you have access to most of them because I've gone in and processed most of the upgrades. And that's, metadata for genealogy, SmugMug, the print photo organizing workshop, a ton of stuff that's really, really fun. So make sure you take a look at that too. Those are sort of special interest events because in our courses, we have to have a defined curriculum, and sometimes there's related things that fall outside of that curriculum, and we just can't put everything in the course. It would be too overwhelming. So sometimes we just do these special deep dives, into something else that we feel is worth it, but we just can't add it to the curriculum or the course would just explode in content. So a good example is we did a SmugMug one for DPO Pro because a lot of people were like, "Oh, we really love SmugMug. How do I use SmugMug?" And Amy went and taught a SmugMug workshop on, so as a special interest thing. Really cool. Same thing for Notion, which is a project management platform. I teach Notion a lot to higher level entrepreneurial students. And in my course, I'm not teaching how to use Notion, but we had so many people going, "I want to learn how," that we did a special interest workshop on that. So that's why that comes about. So you'll see those from time to time. And if you have access to something, you are auto-enrolled, right? You do not have to figure out how to sign up for stuff. If you have access to it, you're auto-enrolled. Otherwise, it is a separate purchase. But a lot of you will have a really cool workshop archive in your academy at this point. Sometimes we also get people asking, well, I feel stuck or I want more in-depth help. Do you do private coaching? Yes, absolutely. I do private coaching, and of course we have Amy and Amanda and Sherry who might also be able to help you. So if you let us know what you are looking for, we will figure out what coach would be the right person for you, and then we can go from there. But we do have coaching available for those who need a little bit of extra hand holding or just rent a brain, for strategizing or whatever you want to call it. And we do find that people who do that get a lot of really quick results as well. So that is available. For those who love a course, we've had some lovely things said about our course so far, and I love that. Thank you very much. It's something that I work on really hard is to make sure I do a thorough course. Anytime I write something, I want to make sense. I want everybody to understand the basics and understand and get a lot out of it. So we do have a referral program. You do not have to be a signed affiliate with us. We have an affiliate program, absolutely, but you can also just do a straight referral one time. So if you know somebody who wants to sign up, what we recommend is that you go into the academy and click on refer a friend and then send them a link like that, because then not only do they get a 20% discount, you also get a 20% discount on your next purchase if you wanted to do that. So you have a referral link that you can share with anybody if you want to recommend a course. So those are the options that we have right now. We do have a flowchart. Again, maybe ladies, if you could drop that link. I'm actually oddly proud of this flowchart because I designed it myself. I think it's really cute. Basically, we, didn't want anybody to get confused about where they belong and what program and all of that. So we have a flowchart on my website that guides you through what you need, basically. So I do recommend looking at that if you have a question about where you should go next. One thing, if you are a new student or a returning student, we want to make sure that you get our emails. And sometimes that can be a bit tricky. First of all, if you add the email addresses that we have to your contacts list, that keeps them out of spam. Sometimes we find that it goes to spam and we don't want that. And I get super happy when you make a folder that my emails can live in, or like a label or something. I get super flattered when that happens. So all Caroline emails could be under, the Swedish organizer or something in your email system. And that way you can also kind of contact us quickly when something comes up. And we really just don't want you to miss out on communication. And if something has ended up in spam, just drag it to your inbox and it should sort of auto-populate and take that off, but just in case. And so that would be like in your Gmail or Outlook or whatever. There's a few emails to note. Hello at theswedishorganizer.com is an email that you could use for anything general, just any general inquiry. My personal email, Caroline at theswedishorganizer.com, is if you have something personal or private to discuss, something sensitive that you only want me to see. If you want to make a personal introduction to somebody, for example, or if you have just anything that it makes more sense to do it one-on-one, then feel free to go ahead and use my email. And then we have support at theswedishorganizer.com. So that's for enrolled students. It's a quicker way to get help, basically. So the hello at the Swedish Organizer, anybody can use, even if you're not an enrolled student. But the support is specifically for enrolled students to get help faster. So if you have questions about billing, your membership, the content in a course, things like that, you feel free to use that. But look, if you use the wrong one, it's not a big deal, right? I'm not going to yell at you. It's just to make sure that you have them all on file and that you know kind of where to go for help. I also have a newsletter called Creating Space. You can find that at theswedishorganizer.com. Love to have you on there. It's absolutely no obligation. But I do send out links to all upcoming calls, and I talk about tips and tricks and what I learned during the month and all that. So it's just kind of a fun way to keep in touch. So that's that. Let's go to the Academy. Our Academy is hosted on a platform called Teachable. And the URL is academy.theswedishorganizer.com. So that might be new for those. We updated that URL in January. So if you have not been with us since, last year, for example, you may have missed that. So it used to be Courses by Caroline, and that was a placeholder that I wanted to update. So it is academy@theswedishorganizer.com. When you sign up for a course, you create an account on Teachable, and you want to make sure that you have your email and login password for that so that you can access it. So that's a good URL to bookmark. That's where you're going to go anytime you want to learn, right? To the academy. And if you are on the go, Teachable actually has a mobile app. So you could use it on your desktop or you could use it on any mobile device. So what you will do is go to the App Store or the, Play Store or whatever it is that you use and look for Teachable online courses. And then you should be able to use that with the same credentials. And that way you can use it on the go as well with your mobile devices. I do recommend that you use the desktop app whenever possible, just because, in some of the courses we have a lot of technical instructions, a lot of tutorials, and it might be hard to see that on a small screen, right? So we want to make sure that you have a big enough screen to watch what you're needing to watch. If you're just watching the organizing formula, for example, where it's just me as a talking head talking about systems, totally okay to watch that on mobile because I'm not really showing you where to click. But once you get into tutorials in any of our courses and you're like, look at this program and click in this menu, then it's really better to have a big screen, right? So make sure that you just think about that so you don't have any issues. In the academy, you have access to a lot of things on your own. So if you go to click on your avatar or if you put in your picture, you're welcome to do that. It's helpful for us to see who's who. That's where you have your settings, right? So you have refer a friend there, you have your profile there, you have membership and subscriptions there, and you can access a lot of things on your end. For example, I do not have access to your billing information and credit card information on the back end. That's something that for you to keep on your own. That's due to privacy laws and all of that. So you couldn't email me, for example, and say, "Hey, Caroline, can you update my credit card information?" I don't have access to that. That's something that you have to do on your own. And also, if you want to change your membership or something like that, you can do that on your own as well. You can see your purchase history there, update your address and contact information. Make sure your email address, again, is correct so that we know how to contact you. And on the topic of emails, if you click on edit profile, that's where you can update your name, email, password, and all that. It's really helpful if you turn on all notifications there. And I've sort of highlighted that in that orange box. Because again, due to privacy laws and things like that, sometimes we cannot opt in people automatically to emails and you have to opt in yourself. And we just want to make sure that you don't miss any communication. So that's what that is for. Just like I mentioned, we don't have access to a lot of information on your end, so you can edit, cancel subscriptions at any time, all of that. If you need help with something, absolutely email us, but just know that you have access to a lot of things. So if you need to take a break, for example, or cancel or anything like that, you can go in and do that on your own. You don't have to email me, but you're more than welcome to do so. Refer a friend, I've already gone over. Oh, and here's another tab, right? So when you're in the academy, you're going to see my products or my courses versus all courses. So my courses or my products is basically, it's everything that you have purchased or that you have access to and that you are enrolled in, right? So that's the difference there. If you click on all courses, that's everything that's available in my academy, whether you are enrolled or not. Right? So make sure that you click on my courses or my products to see what you have access to. If you wanted to purchase something new, you would go under all courses. So that's the difference there. And we also want to mention how you find your coaching call information. So basically that is a separate section. What I've done is I've set up the course, the curriculum, and then I've set up coaching calls as a separate course, basically. So if you are in DPO Pro, for example, you'll see DPO Pro VIP coaching calls as a little section in your academy. If you're in Mindful Monday Mapping, you will see MMM coaching calls and upcoming events. If you're in CSA, you will see CSA upcoming calls and events. And that's where I keep all of the meetings, all of the information, all of the links, as well as all of the replays. Once we have a call and that call is over, that's where I upload the replay so that you can watch it. Okay. And I wanted to, again, I could have kept that, I guess, in the same course, but I didn't want the course to become way too long in the curriculum because the coaching calls are ongoing. So I felt like I had to separate that. Otherwise, the course would just become a mile long and get overwhelming very quickly. find the right date, basically click on the lesson, and if the coaching call is upcoming, you'll see meeting information. If it has passed, you will see the replay. So that's the Academy. Real quick, any questions on how the Academy works before I move on? Does anybody have any questions there? So far, so good? Okay, well, feel free to add a question in the chat if you have it, and we can.
Okay.
Oh, you had Kay, you had one?
Quick
Sorry.
question. Now, through the prize I won, I am
Yes.
signed up for a workshop. Am I in the Academy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, yes, you are. Yes, so you'll go to academy.theswedishorganizer.com, and if let me, I mean, I can check for you real quick on the back end here really quickly. Let me just do that, and let me not share that information. But I do believe I enrolled you in the Academy because again, our, workshops and all that are in the Academy. So I wanted to make sure that you have access. Otherwise, sending a video file over email would just be too much. So let me just double check here. I do believe I enrolled you. So it would be your email, and I think I sent an email to you as well with login information. Yeah.
I have several emails. You caught me on vacation, so I
Gotcha.
haven't had a chance to collect.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, no. So, yep. So basically, if you go to academy.theswedishorganizer.com, it's going to be your email. And then I have set a temporary password for you. And because nobody knows your email, I can say it.
Oh, okay.
It's 123456. That's the temporary password. So then you would just basically log in and update your password to something else. And you are enrolled in DPO Flow from this year and 2 years ago, as well as metadata for genealogy and the organizing formula. So those are the ones that you have access to right now at no charge.
Terrific. Thank you.
Yeah. Bhavna, you had a question.
Oh, it's more of a comment. I wanted to say that I really enjoyed the fact that when going through the course, if I paused somewhere and came back to it a couple of days, it remembered where I was, so I don't have to make a mental note. And you can rewind and move forward, but at least I knew where I stopped. So I thought
Yeah.
that was a great point about great
Yeah.
feature of that tool.
Yeah, thank you for noticing. It's really good. And I have a comment on that too. For those of you who haven't been in the Academy, actually, let me keep going. But yeah, that's a very good thing about Teachable. Like it's a really robust platform for course instruction, I feel like. And now they've even updated the dashboard. So if some of you are, longtime students, you might see a difference in how the dashboard looks now because they just updated it this year, where you can see exactly where you left off. Like you don't even have to click into the course. It used to be that you had to click into the course to see the progress and all that, but it's all, they're making improvements, and I am really happy with that. It's been a really solid platform. I've been on there since I started, basically in 2014 or 15. Super happy with them. Okay, so now let's talk about our community. It's always tricky as a course creator because Teachable does have a community feature. It is not, let's just say it's one of the things that needs improvement and they're working on it. And I have a community on Circle. Now, Circle can also host courses, but they don't do it as well as Teachable. So I am half and half with one foot on either side at this point in order to give you all the best experience possible. So we do host our community on Circle at this point. We've been on Circle for a few years now. Don't get Amy started on when we used Facebook because she's going to pull her hair out. We used to have it on Facebook as just the community there, but people were so distracted, and it just was so hard to focus with all the ads and the, just everything else pulling. And we just felt like, no, we needed a close community that was much more robust. So we use Circle. For a few years now, we've had that, and it's a wonderful community platform. And once you're admitted to the community, you can chat with people, mingle with other students, message us directly. It's really cool, and it's very easy to use. It looks similar to social media, but it just is, it's a closed community. And so how do you access it? You go to community.theswedishorganizer.com, just like how you would use the Academy. And then there's also a community link in the Academy navigation. Like once you're in the Academy, you can click on community and go straight there. And what I've done is set up an integration. So it should be the same login and password that you have on both. You should not have to do it twice. Um, it should also be the same for the Circle app. So Circle, just like Teachable, has an app that you can use. And here it is. So you would go and download Circle Communities, basically in the App Store, and you could use it then on mobile as well. It's actually really good. A lot of course creators use Circle, and I believe TPM is also switching over to Circle now. So if you actually have an account, then you can, and you're a TPM member, for example, you could toggle between my community and their community with like one thing, which is super, super comfortable. The thing is, joining our community is optional. Again, due to privacy and all that, we don't automatically enroll people in the community. We have students who sometimes want to be anonymous, and we respect that. So we don't just automatically enroll everybody. So whatever course you're in, you're going to see an invitation to join the community. Okay. And you have to opt in if you want to participate. So you click on the link for the community and you opt in. And then I give you access to the community manually. And that's usually within 24 to 48 hours that I approve your request and then you're in. So do that ahead of having a question, just so that you have access. Like once you sign up for a course, you immediately access the community and get set up. And then you're basically in and you can keep going, right? Don't wait until you have a question to sign up, because then you have to wait 24 hours to get the answer to that question. And each, well, actually, I should say this first. We do recommend, if you're not using an app, that you use Google Chrome, because they've had this blank page issue in Safari for a bit, and they're working on that still. So I just want to mention that. Google Chrome or the app is where you're going to get the best results. If you have this issue, it's usually your web browser or a cache issue. We just want to mention it real quickly so that you don't think there's something wrong with it. When you're in the community, because we have several different courses and several different levels of membership and support, in the sidebar, you're going to see what you are enrolled in. So if you're enrolled in a course, you're going to see that on the side there. If you do not have access, it's either not going to show up or it's going to prompt you, say, hey, you don't have access to this. You have to purchase the course first. So that's what that is. But your side navigation is where you would kind of click to find what you need. And everybody has access to the welcome menu, which is where we have, announcements, where we have just a general chat. We have upcoming workshops, a ways for you to contact us and so on. And even if you're not an enrolled student in the academy, like anybody is welcome to join the community as a guest, basically. So you can come in and join our community and be at a guest level without being enrolled in a course, and actually take advantage of the welcome section to hear about upcoming workshops and so on. So everybody's welcome for that. But in order for you to have access to the course, chat and discussion and support and all that, you have to be an enrolled student. For our community, we have community rules. It's posted in the About section, and it's also pinned in the right sidebar. So we want you to review that before you start interacting. And I do have a video as well, an overview video. I'm going to update that pretty soon because we've had a few small changes, but you can find it also pinned to the right sidebar or in the About section. So if you just want to learn how to use Circle better, we have that. And new this year is we have an events tab. It used to be that our events in the community were only listed sort of by course, but now, because we have so many people who are enrolled in so many different courses, it was like too cumbersome for everybody to click into each course to find upcoming calls and then to put it all together kind of in their own mind. So what we did is we pooled it into an events tab. So on top in the Circle navigation, you'll see events, and that's where you can see all upcoming calls. So not just course coaching calls, but like live events, any other courses that you may or may not be enrolled in. These welcome and onboarding calls are in there. So, let's say that you are prospective students, you could always join our academy and stay updated on these welcome and onboarding calls to hear what's new, upcoming workshops to see what's coming up, and just have that guest account. That would be totally okay. We really encourage you to RSVP to events from the community. So you do that by clicking on a call and by selecting going or not going in the drop-down menu. And the reason I recommend that is because then you get automatic reminders. I I cannot necessarily send out automatic reminders for every single call, or manual, excuse me, reminders for every single call because we just have so many calls and so many students, and it would just be a huge undertaking to do that. So what I've done is set up automatic reminders under these RSVP events so that you can get those links and all of that coming to your email without me having to do that work. And again, I recommend that you just RSVP to pretty much everything you're interested in because if you don't show up, it's no big deal. We're not, taking attendance and holding you to that. It's just for you to get the link on time and for you to get a reminder saying that, hey, this call starts in an hour. That's all it is. Just so that you have the link and all that. So feel free to RSVP to as much as you want. We also have a section called Opportunities in the Community, and that's under the Welcome section. And that's a public space, again, for anybody in our membership to post about job openings, apprenticeship, other opportunities. So if you are somebody who is hiring, you're welcome to create a post. Let's say you want a coach. Let's say you want to hire a personal photo manager. Let's say you want to hire a product manager or a management professional looking for somebody to help you. You're welcome to create a post there. Same thing, if you are somebody who is trying to find an apprenticeship or a learning opportunity and say, hey, I really want to try learning about this. Can anybody volunteer? You're welcome to post there. So it's just really a space for everybody to find the right support and to find the right opportunity that they want. And we've this year turned on gamification, which is really fun. I think Rebecca's in the lead at this point. Rebecca, our longtime student, she's up there. She's really, really knocking it out of the park with her community interactions. So well done, Rebecca, if you're listening to this. I think she's closing in on me actually with her points. She's really active, which is great. Basically, what happens is the more you engage in our community, the more you answer questions, the more you post questions and engage with people, you get points. And at the end of each year, we're going to have a drawing for the most engaged student because I just feel like that deserves a little something extra. So I think at this point, she's in the lead for that right now, but we still have a few months to go until Christmas. So click on the leaderboard in the community navigation, and you'll see where you're at. I'm pretty sure I'm in the lead, but I'm not all the way to legend, as you can see in my own community yet. It takes a moment to get there, but it's really fun, and it's just for everybody to kind of see where you're at. We do have an affiliate partnership section. So if you are a professional or a colleague, we do have an affiliate setup. If that's something you would be interested in long term, you can just email us for that. But we have some links at the end of the community to give you some of that information as well. Okay, any questions really quickly on how the community works? Do we have any issues that have popped up or anything like that? I go in and check like membership levels pretty often or so, and you'll see that you're tagged with like the course you're in and other people are tagged and all of that. But any questions on how to use the community at all before I move on?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
I was looking at the app as you were going along, and I noticed in the events tab that it will say I understand I'm DPO Pro from when I looked at my subscription, but I see some say DPO Pro VIP and some say DPO Pro TPM. Maybe I missed some.
Yes. So, okay. So I will, I think, explain that a little bit later, but let me just overall share. So DPO Pro has 3 levels of support, right? We have the self-study that you can purchase, and then we have an upgraded VIP tier that includes monthly group coaching and all that. And then we have an even higher tier that includes private coaching. And we have a lot of professional members that come in learning through our affiliate program with the photo managers, which is TPM, what that's short for. And so what happened during this summer special is we had an offer, right, where if you purchased the self-study, you got a free upgrade to the VIP tier so you could be a part of all the coaching calls. And so The basic one is just DPO Pro. The VIP tier has an extra little level in the community, and that's where you will see upcoming calls and all that. So I believe, Denise, that you are in the VIP tier at this point
Yeah.
because you upgraded. Yeah, exactly. So you will see both of those. So for example, if somebody just joined the self-study, they wouldn't see that VIP section. Okay, so you have both of those too. Now, if you are a professional photo manager, you will might also see that TPM, because that's our affiliateship with the professional community, and that's only for pros. But
I think I
depending on
might
who,
have got maybe they appear for me because I've been a part
could
of the
be.
Photo Managers
Yeah.
Academy. I purchased a number of their courses, found you through them.
Gotcha. That could be it. Yeah, that could be it. And you can let us know if that's redundant, for example. Then
Oh,
we don't have to have that. We can always take that out for you. But if you are, somebody who wants to stay in touch with the professionals and have more, pro level, how do I handle this type of project conversations, then you're welcome to be in that tier. Yeah. And I do believe I mentioned a little bit more about this as well. So let's see. Let's go to learning tips real quick, and then we can talk more about this, and I can show you some things too. One thing that Bob and I was mentioning is that Teachable is really helpful for sort of keeping track of where you left off. And there's ways to do that. First of all, your dashboard is going to show you where you left off now. We've set that up. And inside a course, you're going to see that lessons that you've watched are going to be marked with a check mark. And that's really helpful because that also shows you where in the course you left off. And what happens is that check mark shows up when you click complete and continue after a lesson. Um, it's totally optional to do this. You can click through lessons and you don't have to actually click complete and continue. But if you do, you're going to see that check mark appear, and that's also going to tell you where you left off. So that's also a really sort of cool thing to do when you're done with a lesson and you're like, yes, I understand this completely. Make sure you click complete and continue, and then that's kind of checked off your list. And it's just easier visually to see where you left off. But again, it's optional to do that. And it's not something that I monitor. Like I don't look at that. I don't, it doesn't make any difference to me where you are in the course or if you jump back and forth, or you can watch anything in any order. But I do recommend you watch things in order because it's in order for a reason. But you can certainly jump through things if you want to. Video lessons, once you're in the academy, they should autoplay. They should automatically start when you click on a lesson. But just know that you can pause, you can rewind, you can fast forward at any time. You have control if you hover above the video window, right? And that's going to basically show up as a little video player. And you should be able to adjust your controls there. And there's also the right side of the video player. It's going to let you adjust playback quality and playback speed. So sometimes if it's something that you want to get through a little faster, put me on 1.5 and I'll talk a little bit faster and you get through the lessons a little quicker. If it's something that you really want to understand, slow me down a bit, and make sure that you're really listening to what I'm saying. And if you are on a small device, you can go full screen by clicking this square, and make sure that you can enlarge the window. If you need to see the video bigger, click on that square so you get a full screen so you can really get in and see those tutorials. Something that I actually didn't know for a very long time is that this pen here, it opens a little sidebar window, and you can actually make comments and take personal notes and all of that. So you can actually keep your notes with the video. Whether you want to do that or not, it's up to you. Some people prefer to write notes and take notes, in a different program or whatever, but there is a feature there. It just completely dawned on me one day that I was like, wait a minute, I hadn't even seen that. So now I mention it to everybody because it's kind of a cool feature that you can just save your notes there. We also have timestamped scripts. That's something that I put in place so that it's easier for you to watch the videos and get through what you need to see faster. Okay, so after a coaching call or a live event, a replay that I upload to the Academy, if you scroll underneath the video, you're going to see notes, right? And you're going to see the timestamp and what happened at any given section in the video. So if you have a group coaching call that you missed, for example, but you sent in a question, then you can go underneath the video and you can see the timestamp and you can see your question. And then you would just fast forward the video to that specific time. and you can, get the answer that you need without having to sit through the entire lesson. Okay? So that's really helpful in order to help you maximize how you use your time. So feel free to, skim those, time-stamped scripts if you're looking for a question that you had sent in or anything, a particular subject. And for those of you who have access to, let's say, the replay archives and the workshop archives, there's a lot of content in there. And sometimes it's just nice to skim the script really quickly, um, and see kind of what we talked about where, so that you can kind of jump to the right area that you're interested in, right? Instead of having to sit through every video not knowing what we're going to talk about. So it's kind of like a little cheat guide for you to be able to watch videos faster. And we also have at the very bottom all the links. So if we mentioned a program, if we mentioned a blog post, if we mentioned another video, something like that, you will see a link to that in that script so that you can go directly to it. A new thing for 2025 is that we also have roadmaps. And right now, we've only implemented those for DPO Pro because that's our biggest course that needs it. But those are coming for other courses as well. So if you're in another course, you're going to see roadmaps coming out soon. At this point, in DPO Pro, we have 4 different roadmaps. And a roadmap is basically how you approach your learning. So how are you going to best spend your time learning the material in the course? And when I originally wrote DPO Pro, it was meant for you to get through in 90 days. But then we had a lot of people who said, oh, actually, I prefer to take my time and spend a little bit more time learning. I need a bit more time than that. So I made 2 different roadmaps, one for 90 days and one for a full year. And you could choose whichever one you want. And you can also choose whether you're a business owner or a professional. And you will basically download the roadmap that works for you, and it gives you then suggestions on what lessons to watch, in what order, and how to basically space out your schedule and your learning to get things done. So it's kind of like a little time agenda, if you will, of a suggested agenda of here's how I would spend my time if I were you, and this is how I wanted to learn. So feel free to take advantage of those. Those are in lesson 1-3 in DPO Pro. And if you're not sure which roadmap to pick, let us know and we'll help you pick one as well. If you're in a course that doesn't have access to group coaching calls, for example, the Bookend Approach, you're welcome to submit a question via email. And that would be support@theswedishorganizer.com. I generally respond within 48 hours. And you usually get an auto response as well saying, hey, we got your question. Just give us a moment and we'll get back to you. So if you have no access to a coaching call, you can use email or you can use the community, and either way would work. For certain courses, DPO Pro being one of them, we have a way to pre-submit questions. So if you have a question, you're welcome to basically send that in ahead of time. If you can't wait, definitely send an email or definitely ask in the community. But if you have a question, let's say about your DPO flow, and you say you want to go through that and, you want feedback and things like that, and anything like that where you feel like you want a discussion for a coaching call, for example, then you're welcome to pre-submit a question. And we have a lesson called How to Ask a Question and Ask for Feedback that shows you how to do that. And when you do that, basically we get all those questions in, and those are the ones we go to first when we go to the coaching call. So you can always ask something live just out of the blue on a coaching call, but it's really good if you pre-submit big questions. And again, Rebecca, shout out to Rebecca, because she does this every single month and she is really diligent about that. We always go to her questions first, and she makes sure basically that she gets her time in and get her questions answered. And we go in order so that it's first come, first serve to get through all those calls. And the reason we love it if you do that process is because then we collect all those questions in one place, so we don't, get questions spread out and miss yours, for example. So follow that process if you want to pre-submit a question. It's really helpful for us. In the community, you're welcome to ask questions as well. You will just go to the section for the course. So if you're in DPO Pro, you would click on discussion, and you can post your question there. And we actually encourage that a lot more rather than just sending an email, because if you have a question, it's very likely somebody else has the same question. And it's just very helpful for us to be able to answer and have more of an engaged community that way. And feel free to tag a coach if you have a specific person that you want input from, and create, a new post for each topic that you have. Each question deserves its own discussion. And again, if you aren't sure how to do that, feel free to ask us. You can watch the video in the community about how to do that. It's pretty simple. You just click discussion, new post, and just type in there, and it should work. Oh, and here, Denise, comes this TPM I was going to explain more about. DPO Pro is a recommended course by the Photo Managers. The Photo Managers is the leading community for professionals, and we have an affiliate relationship with them. Basically, they recommend our course to a lot of their members as a way to get started, to DIYers as well. And so if you are a photo manager, what we've done is we've add quarterly coaching calls so that we can have more elevated professional discussions about how to engage with clients and how to manage, the business professionally and all of that. So if you are not a photo manager, that's a professional, basically, you don't have to hop in on those calls at all. It would be probably a waste of your time. But if you are a photo manager and you want to have more of those elevated discussions, you can join us there and let us know. It used to be only for the Pro Plus members, but I've actually opened it. I've gone ahead and decided to open it to any photo manager member because they've made some changes to how they recommend people join. So if you see DPO Pro TPM, that is what that is. It's at the professional level. And of course, we have every now and then, organizing students who aren't organized, hence the need for my courses. So if that is you, don't feel bad. That's okay. We're glad you're here, and that's what we're here for, to help you show up. Sherry Lukey, our executive coach, she has done a video with a little bit of help on how to consistently show up and how to consistently take action on your goals. So that is also pinned to the About section of the community. So if you feel like you need a little help with confidence, showing up, consistency, anything like that, you feel free to take a look at that video as often as you like and just follow along with her. She's fantastic and just helps everybody gets results a lot better. So that is a resource for you. And let me just say, you can do it. I know Sherry says it, but I'm going to say it as well. You can definitely do this. Whatever course you're enrolled in, that I offer, there is going to be a number of learning curves. And what we want you to do is just approach things step by step and focus on the thing that's right in front of you. And then we go to the next step and the next step. We are actually really good as coaches to get you to focus on break things down. And that's what we want you to do so that it doesn't become overwhelming. All of our courses, I mean, when I write them, I write deep, thorough courses because I really want people to get the results and I want people to understand the concepts and not just learn a tool. I want you to understand the process so that you can then basically learn how to fish instead of just, having a meal that one day. So small, consistent action over time is the best way to approach any course that I have. And if you need help, just let us know. We'll point you in the right direction and we'll give you the next step to take. But just know that there is going to be a number of learning curves, and that is completely normal. In DPO Pro, for example, not only do you have technology as a learning curve, right? You may not be familiar with all the technology, but you also have the photo organizing process as a learning curve. And then there's like systems in general, kind of as a learning curve. Plus, learning as an adult. It may have been a moment since you went to school or to a university or whatever, right? So there's a number of things that come up, and no matter what comes up, I feel like we can help you with that. Just let us know what's going on, and we'll help you make the best use of it. I really want everybody to succeed because if I have successful students, my stuff works basically, right? That's what I want everybody to be able to get this done and actually get everything that they wanted out of the experience. So that's the goal is to make sure that everybody gets what they need and the support they need. But in order for us to know how to help you, let us know if something comes up. Any questions? Thank you so much for sitting through that. I hope that was helpful to kind of see how the Academy works, how the community works. Now you kind of know how to get started with that. I'm going to have the replay, but do we have any questions? Anybody who has trouble with a roadmap or Is everybody clear on their next steps and what needs to happen? Um, Joyce, I'm looking at you. DPO flow is good for you. And that's what you're going to be working on for a while, and then send those in to us. And then once you have that figured out, we're going to take action on that DPO flow. Anybody else have any questions about where to get started or what to do next? I'm just going to give it a minute. Feel free to take yourself off mute. Let's see. Denise, you love the roadmaps. I'm glad. So which one? Can I just ask which one you picked?
Well, it's funny because I printed out the 12-month and the 3-month personal ones, obviously. And
Yeah.
I said, okay, I'm not gonna overtax myself like I usually do, and I'll do the 12-month one. Well, in a few days, I was already well on my way on the 3-month one. And then when I
Wow.
looked at closely, I realized that I think because I like the way you lay it out to go through the course before you do any work,
Yes.
because
Yes.
I do have a lot of work done, but like I said, it's putting it all together. So I'm eager to jump in, but I think it will be much better for me to go through the whole course and
Mhm.
then use that the month 2 roadmap where I'm actually starting
Yeah.
to do the work.
Yeah.
I think that's going to work really well for me because this is what I've been struggling with is where do I go? And a roadmap for me, I'm very willing to follow a roadmap. And so I am going to use the 3-month one, knowing that I'm going to have times, as we've got a lot going on in our personal lives right now, knowing that there's going to be some weeks when I maybe not be able to do anything at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
But most weeks I should be able to do a little bit every day. I can, I just told myself with my morning coffee, I can
Yeah.
watch 1 or 2 videos and I've done something.
Yes.
And so
That's how you do
I've
it.
already put check marks on that roadmap, what I've completed, and that's the way I'm going to attack
Perfect.
it.
That's exactly what it's for. So I love that. That's great. And that is how you get results, right? Because sometimes we get people, they jump in, they watch the whole thing, and they're like, I'm going to do this weekend. And I'm like, whoa.
Mhm.
You can, absolutely, but slow down because you're going to forget next week what you did, right? And just we want to make sure that it sinks in. So that's what that's for, and that's great.
I've been doing these goals for this for a while, and I reviewed those, and I finally had written down the last time I reviewed these in January that I've realized this is a lifelong project. It's
It's a
not
big
going to have
project.
an end point. And
Yeah.
but what I got to start dealing with it
Yeah.
first.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
and that's why we don't want it to become overwhelming because it is something you can work on for a very long time. And it's just slow and steady and the right step in the process and you'll get there. It's just that finding that patience and process to help you through it. And yeah, that's what we're here for. And that's why we have these calls. So again, if you take a break, come back to one of these calls and see what's new, and we'll help you kick off again and get rolling again. That's what that's for. So I'm glad that's working. And yeah, the roadmaps, I think we've heard feedback on that. That's been really helpful for people. There's absolutely no time to rush. And I love what you said, like just finding a routine is super helpful. So yay. Okay, wonderful. Well, thank you everybody for joining me. I'm going to have the replay of this as well if you need it. And I'm going to make a section actually in the community for welcome and onboarding calls. But I hope that was helpful. Again, if you have any questions, just email me. I'm always here. We're asking the community and we'll get you off to the right thing. So thank you everybody for spending your time with us. We'll see you soon. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.
Hey.
Bye.